Hello and welcome to my channel, Talisman Tarot. In this reading, I want to ask these Waite tarot cards. I'm going to use this deck here for all the groups, all the three groups. Of course, what you're going to be picking here is magnets, refrigerator magnets. There are 3 of them. I'm going to use the same tarot deck for all of them because I really love this tarot deck. It's my mom's. It's very old and it's beautiful. It's so, like, all the cards are mostly like this and it's beautiful. Like, it's so authentic and beautiful. I like it when it's when you can see that a tarot deck has actually been used, when it has some wear and tear. But yeah, I'm gonna ask these cards about how men view you. And I have 3 refrigerator magnets here that you can choose from. This will be group number 1, this one here. This will be group number 2. And this will be group number 3. So if you've chosen your group now, go to the description box below and find the timestamp for your particular group and click on that, and your reading should appear in front of you. And while you're down there in the description box below, make sure to check out my guide on how to book a personal reading from me. I love doing personal readings for you guys. It's always a pleasure. So please check that out. But let's focus on this reading right here. So yeah. Hello, group number 1. You chose this cat magnet here. And I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle these Waite tarot cards. But I'm going to start with the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 1, the people who will choose group number 1? How do men view group number 1? Okay, so men view you as a little bit intimidating. You have a very respectable energy, a very admirable energy, and I think men look up to you. Like, they see you as someone who is thriving, someone who is ambitious, someone who's very serious about what you do, and that you have a very good work ethic, that you're much more business rather than pleasure. Like, you set the bar very high for yourself, and you might also expect certain things from others as well, in terms of them getting up to your level. Like, you want people to also succeed, and that is also, like, even though, you know, that's not necessarily intimidating, but I think men tend to see this energy as very powerful, very strong. And it's not like men don't enjoy that energy. It's just that sometimes it can be a little bit unapproachable. Like, it's hard to, yeah, it's hard to approach it. It can make, and I feel like the men in your life, the men that used to be in your life in the past as well, like, they might have felt like it wasn't very easy to talk to you, because they knew that they had to impress you. They felt like they couldn't really. That it was like they felt a little bit inferior, or that they couldn't really live up to your expectations of them. Or that they were, okay, I'm getting something about someone in the past feeling like you were embarrassed of them, that you And this could be one specific man. I don't know if it's all the men that you've encountered. I doubt it. I don't think so. I feel like this is maybe one specific person who might have been an ex of yours, maybe someone you were in a relationship with. I think this person felt like you were embarrassed to be with them, or embarrassed to go out in public with them. Or maybe especially things where you had conversations with other people, and where I think this person felt like whenever they started talking, you were kind of side-eyeing them and kind of like making faces at the things that they were saying, maybe because you knew that what he was saying was not really, you know, in theme with what the other people were talking about, that it wasn't quite, you know, yeah, it was off topic, you know, it wasn't quite what the other people had in mind when they started that conversation. And I think that is something that I think men usually view you as very smart, very capable, very strong, very powerful, like a very powerful energy. But very smart, like that you always know what to say, you always have some anecdote to share with people that is actually on topic, and actually enlightening, and that you're very good at what you do. Like you're building your career, and you're very good at that, and yeah. But I think men might find you a little bit too honest sometimes, a little bit too blunt, that sometimes, and it might not even be verbal, it could be non-verbal, like with gestures, non-verbal gestures, like and also facial expressions, like that that people tend to know if you find what they're saying to be ridiculous, or if people start talking about something and you know damn well what the answer is, like you know what the truth is, you know what is factually correct and what is just someone trying to wing it, like and even if you don't say anything, people know that you know better, and that you're judging them, at least on the inside, maybe also on the outside. Like maybe you've actually said something, you know, directly to people, like especially if people have been lying to you. Like I think you're good at, you know, you're good at calling people out on their bullshit. If someone says something that you know, like you know it's a lie, you know that, like you were probably there. Like if you were there and someone is trying to change the story, and if the person is not aware that you were actually in the room, so obviously you know the truth, so they can't actually just, you know, fabricate a story when there is a witness in the room, like that sort of thing. Like, of course, you would want to say that out loud, that this never happened. You know, you were there. You know? So, but I think that the bluntness is maybe something that some men find a little bit scary, like, because, of course, it would be easier if you were just a good sport and just playing along with it, and acting like it's true, even though you know what's actually the truth. So there might also be someone who feels like you're a little bit of a detective, that you tend to like dig up some information, like ask people the right questions and kind of get to the bottom of things. And that this can also be a little bit irritating for people who have something to hide. Of course, like if they are, like if there's someone who is, you know, who's living a double life or something, where you know they're doing it because you have proof of it, then of course that person would be intimidated by your energy, because they know that you can call them out on their bullshit, and that then it would be game over for them. And so I think that is also the scary part, that some men can see that in you, and can see that you have the potential of being a little bit, you know, dangerous to them if they are lying about something big in their life, or if they have some secret that they're trying to hide from people. So yeah, I'm gonna shuffle and see what the cards have to say about how men view you. Okay, it's a little bit too many cards, but I'm gonna keep these two. Queen of Wands. This is a very honest energy. It's very, it's cutting to the chase. It's very brutally honest, and it's also very brave. I think men view you as very brave, that you're not afraid of anything, that you're someone who dares to say anything to anyone, and that you talk to people in the same way, even if they are, you know, very powerful, or if they are, you know, a homeless person. Like that you talk to people with the same respect, that you don't put people in a hierarchy, and you don't suck up to anyone in a higher position. Like if you meet a politician or someone like that, then you would talk to that person, you know, just the same way as you would anybody else, because, you know, there's nothing keeping you two apart in a way. Like it's not like we're all people, so it's not like anybody deserves, you know, to be treated like royalty, or like, because, well, I don't know, like, but I think men see this as a strength, but also very brave, that you're someone who's not afraid of going against the stream. With the Judgment reversed. Okay, so men might view you as someone who could be a little bit black and white sometimes, but not necessarily in a terrible way. Like we all see things a little bit black and white. Of course, some people use that as a terrible insult, but I think everything in moderation. And I think sometimes we tend to, of course, demonize certain things, and make certain other things very angelic, where we have have to sometimes create that duality, like where because sometimes things fall into a gray area, and we have to make a decision whether we find it to be okay or not, because everything can fall into a gray area, and then there's nothing that's actually morally correct or incorrect, and then we all just smudge everything together, and then suddenly everything is all right. But it's okay to have like a stance, like a stand where we or stance or stand, I don't know, but where we make a decision to be stubborn about one thing, like that if we don't like something, or if we feel like this is actually quite problematic, like it's not something that is negotiable, because it's just wrong. And it's okay to be, it's okay to be stubborn about certain things and not wanting to change your mind. But I think some men feel like you're not someone who's easy to change your mind. Like it's not easy to make you believe otherwise than you already do. Like if someone has another political view than you and they try to convince you about it, then you're not gonna change your view. Like you're maybe gonna humor what they have to say, but at the end of the day you still believe what you believe in, or you still have the opinion that you have, and nothing can change that unless someone comes with something solid, like rock solid. But if they just come with their own opinion that is just as valid as yours, you're not going to change that just because they are very persistent about it, like, and just because they are trying to threaten you into wanting you to change your mind. But it's just, of course, some men find this to be problematic because they want to change people's minds. Like they don't always take a no for an answer, but with your mindset, they will like run into a wall, because you're not gonna change. You're not like you're too fixed. Like you're very fixed in your mindset and in your viewpoint. And I think that's something that I think some men find it to be very strong in a good way, but other men might see it as, a little bit hard to have a conversation with you because you're so fixed. But again, if you were the opposite of that, if you were just changing your mind if people asked you to, like, then the same men would have a problem with that too, because then you would be a pushover, and then you would be a people pleaser, and then they would have all these other names to give you, like that. So it would, I think it's just some people are just, seeing a problem in everything. So I'm gonna shuffle some of these archetype cards. I feel like there's a big difference between what men think of you and what women think of you, because I feel like women actually relate to you more. They see you more as one of their own, or they see you just as someone who is more like them. And I think they don't find you intimidating at all. They don't see your strength as a weakness. They don't see it as a problem. They see it as something that is very empowering. So I feel like it's mostly men who have this opinion of you. And women seem to have an easier time talking to you. Like they don't fear talking to you at all. And you come across as much more soft and much more mild towards women than you do towards men. So I don't know why that is, but yeah. Okay. Yeah, men view you as the destroyer. And so it kind of goes hand in hand with the Judgment reversed. I think men see you as someone who's not afraid of speaking your mind, and also if it's gonna wreak havoc, even if it's gonna fall into a bad place, or if people are not gonna, like it, you're gonna say it anyways because it needs to be said. And I think men see you as someone who could potentially be a bad influence. I don't know how they get that. I don't know where they get that from, because I feel like you're not a bad influence, but maybe they feel like since they can't control you, since they can't have a solid grasp on you, you could of course become dangerous to them because whatever, because you call them out, because you can tell people what you really think of them, or you can tell people the truth even though they are trying to hide it, or like you can call people out on their bullshit and you're not afraid to do so, even if you are making some enemies along the way. It doesn't matter, because what matters is the truth, and nobody should be allowed to bullshit other people and keep something hidden that is quite important for their character, like something that it needs to be said so that other people don't actually associate with them, especially if they try to make, I feel like you have had encounters with people who have been really masked up, with a mask on, where they were trying really to sell some identity that wasn't even theirs, something where they were just acting like another person, not being truthful at all, and just lying about everything and being like a compulsive liar. And somebody had to say something, and of course, I know that this might be different for all of you. It might be a little bit too specific, but I feel like all of you have had an experience that with someone who was kind of someone who had grandiosity, had a tendency to lie about certain things about themselves that could easily be checked out, someone who was lying about their degree and their job and things that they had accomplished in their life, where you were just well, that doesn't really fit into the timeline. That this person had talked about many things where nothing was really adding up, because this person put some weird dates on everything, where it was well, how could you have managed to do 3 degrees in the same year? or something like that. You can't do that. Like, you have to stretch it out so that it actually becomes believable. So, and I think you might have said something, maybe indirectly, but something that really made it quite obvious to them or other people around this person that this person was lying. You might have also just hinted at it or asked this person critical questions where this person knew that you knew that they were lying. And so, yeah. And I think that's why some men, or just one man, this could still just be about this one man who saw you as a destroyer, someone who was trying to destroy it for them. Like, they had this big fairy tale life fabricated around themselves, and it was nice and cozy and fluffy and cute. And then you just came and teared it apart to the point where they felt like, or you didn't tear anything apart, but you made it quite obvious to them that you could see right through them, which was, destroying their illusion or delusion, So I'm going to shuffle one more card about how men view you. Okay, so shapeshifter, they view you as someone who shifts shape, and someone who's maybe a little bit hard to trust because sometimes you are very nice to them, sometimes you can be a little bit spiteful, but it all just depends on the situation. If someone is, if someone is bullshitting you, you're going to say something, but if they're not doing that, then of course you're going to be nice to them because they're not doing anything bad. But of course, when they cross that line, you're going to call them out for it. So, yeah. So men might find you to be someone who runs a little bit hot and cold, that they don't really know where they have you, where they don't know if you're on their side or if you're not. They don't know if you're a friend of theirs or if you're more than that, or if you're the villain, like like if you're the destroyer, if you're someone who's trying to destroy something for them. Like, I know that this reading is very negative, but it's like men are so competitive. Like, I don't know why they feel like they have to compete with you. And when you're and I also feel like when you're being critical towards them, they take it very personally. And of course, criticism is hard, and I know that too. Like, I'm not very good at taking criticism. I'm actually terrible at it. So I get it, but I feel like you haven't criticized people. You've just asked critical questions. Like, if someone is lying to you, then and you know they're lying, then maybe you might ask, like, oh, okay, so that happened in 2015. Wasn't that the same year as you also did this and that and that? Like, how? Like, that was a very busy year for you. Like, how could you manage to do all these things all at once? Like, that seems a little bit, very effective. Like it seems very effective. You must have been very efficient. Like that sort of thing. Like those critical questions where, like, even though like the person probably knew that you were trying to, you know, cut to the chase and figure out you know, if they were lying or not, but and maybe making them like admit to it. But it's like, I feel like you haven't crossed anybody, but it's like you have a very strong presence and you have a strong personality. Even when you're being a little bit shy and quiet, you still have a strong presence. Like, because people can tell, like, every time they say something, and you kind of make a grim, or like or grim. Like, that's not how you, well, that's a direct translation, but like make like a, you know, a facial expression that makes them know that something ain't right. Like that they know, and it makes them a little bit uncomfortable and makes them rethink whether they're actually telling the truth, or whether they are maybe not remembering things correctly, or whether they're just saying something that isn't factually accurate. So and people just like, and men see you as very smart, and this is of course intimidating to some people when they are in the room with someone that they know is intellectually superior. They watch their words. They don't want to come across as too dumb, like that they don't want to say something that's not completely researched. Like they want to be sure that they are, you know, serving something that is bulletproof. And of course that is a little bit bothersome for them, and they wouldn't want to be in that energy for too long, because it requires a lot from them, and they can't just bullshit something and try to wing it, because that's what they might usually do, like just say something and hope that it's right. But they can't do that when you're in the room. So of course I know that this is probably not what you wanted for this reading, of course, but I don't know if this is a little bit yeah, it is what it is. But with a beggar reversed, people don't see you as a beggar. People don't see you as someone who tries to play the victim. Or I said people, and of course it could be both genders here. So I think it's men and women who see you as someone who doesn't play the victim. You don't feel sorry for yourself. You don't try to get people's pity. You're very strong in that sense, that you don't want people's you know, yeah, you don't want people to do things for you out of pity, or help you with things. And maybe you're also someone who just doesn't want to ask for help, and men see that too, and it can sometimes hurt their feelings a little bit when a woman doesn't want their help, or like especially if the help is offered to the woman. Like if a man offers a woman help and the woman says no, and says that she can do it on her own, like that she doesn't need anything from the man can feel a little bit like, what like, why would you do that? Like, it's offered to you, like they are trying to be nice. And if you're not allowing them to be nice, how would they be, like, how would they come across as a nice guy if you're not allowing them to be nice to you? And like, if you're not going to accept their kindness, how are they going to prove to you that they are actually a nice guy? Like that, and it takes a little bit away from them. Like that is, so maybe like my suggestion would be like if a man offers you help, maybe just take it. Like even if you don't need it, but just because you know it might mean more to them than it does to you. You know, so yeah. Because sometimes, like, even though, like, I think men view you as very strong and independent, but this, of course, it's a double-edged sword, because it ends up not being perceived necessarily as a positive thing. It can end up making men feel like they don't have a purpose around you. Like they can't really give you anything because you have everything you need in it. So they, like, especially when it comes to romantic encounters, if you're a woman and you're asking how men view you, then I think men might view you as, you know, someone who's the opposite of a princess, and they might want someone who wants to have like the princess treatment, where you're just a little bit too independent for that. Like you want to do things on your own, because then you know that it's done correctly, and then you know that you have complete control over it. And it is hard to, you know, give someone else a task that you know they can fuck up, you know. And sometimes it's hard, but I think overall, I think it's just like too much independence is maybe scaring people off in terms of romantically pursuing you, because they don't know what to give you and what to offer you. So how would they win you over when they can't win you over by, like, through their gestures or actions? So yeah, I think that's all I have for you, group number 1. I'm going to end the reading here. I hope this reading was helpful. I know it was a little bit negative, and I'm sorry about that, because of course I would have wanted a more uplifting video or reading. Of course I hope the others are more uplifting, but that doesn't concern you, of course. So, you know, what's it to you? I don't know why I said that, but yeah, I think this is it. So if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 2. You chose this cat magnet here, and I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle these cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 2, the people who will choose group number 2? How do men view group number 2? The people who will choose group number 2. How do men view group number 2? Okay, men view you as very beautiful, but also very relatable. Someone that they can talk to about anything, and that you're, of course, I hate to say this, but like that men view you as, especially if you're a woman watching this video, men view you as someone who's one of the guys. And I know that people associate that with pick me energy and stuff like that, and I hate I hate that phrase. I hate the whole pick me stigma. I think it's falsely labeled. I think the whole idea of putting this, I understand the whole stereotype, and I probably am also part of this stereotype, you know, but it's not pick me. I feel like there's a faulty labeling. It is, I'm not this way because I'm trying to hook up with guys, because I'm not that into guys, you know. So I don't want them to pick me, and I'm just this way because I have a brother that I was very close to, and we shared a lot of the same hobbies because we spend a lot of time together. And so yeah, of course I have some of the same hobbies as men do because of this. And I think a lot of women who grew up with boys as friends, or boys as brothers, you know, that of course there is, like, it's very normal to have the same hobbies and want to talk about the same things when that's what we're grown up to do. Like we have done this our whole life. I feel like that's just, yeah, yeah, but whatever. But so, but I think you probably fall into the stereotype. I just don't want to label it as pick me, but I think men actually enjoy, they enjoy this. It's like, and they like that they can talk to you about anything, that they can talk to you about video games or science or politics or stuff that they've usually considered to be male topics, which is also false labeling, by the way, because there's nothing gender specific about these things to be interested in. Like like, why would you have to have a penis to talk about video games? Like you know, it just makes no sense. But whatever. So I think, of course, a lot of men have this stereotype in their head of what a female enjoys to talk about, and it's usually like makeup. They think women just talk about makeup and clothes and celebrities and gossip and stuff like that. That's just female topics, and that's what they talk about all day, and that men talk about other things. But you know, it's just not like that in real life. But again, I'm not going to burst any men's bubble by like, it's just that, you know, men can think whatever. But I think the thing is that, like, my point here is that men view you as someone that they want to be friends with, someone that they feel like they could actually become best friends with. Like, I know that we're a little bit too old to be talking about best friends and stuff like that, but I think they see you as someone who they actually enjoy spending time with, and they are not used to this because they are used to not enjoying spending time with women for whatever reason. So they feel like it's like a breath of fresh air. Like, it's nice. So yeah. I'm going to shuffle some of the tarot cards just to see a little bit more about how men view you. But they also find you very attractive. Like, there's a lot of that energy too, that they see you as someone that should be like, you should be intimidating to them because of the way you look, but then like it's just a very happy surprise that when they talk to you it's actually easy, because you're not someone who is like, I don't know, like I feel like they also find you to be very non-judgmental, and that you don't have an intimidating energy because you're just very happy-go-lucky sort of thing, like that you seem like a very not happy-go-lucky necessarily, just happy, like that you're just a happy person, very joyous, very very nice, like you're and easygoing, like and that you can also take a joke, and that's something that they find very attractive. Men in general find it very attractive that you can take a joke, that you don't take it too seriously, that you can also ditch, but you can also take, but you can also ditch, like that you can do both, like you can, like especially jokes that are maybe on you, like you're not someone who's gonna make a big fuss about that, but you're just gonna ditch it back, like that you're yeah, I feel like men see you as very funny, and that you have a good sense of humor. Okay, so Nine of Wands. So men might see you as someone who uses humor as a defense mechanism or a coping mechanism, that you might sometimes make a joke about something even though you're actually going through it, you know, that you might joke around about how you feel, or especially if you are depressed or something, that, or if you have been depressed in the past, you might have joked about that instead of actually talking, you know, talking sentimentally about it, like that you're maybe someone who has like an emotional, like or like a distance to your emotions. That's what I meant. That you have like an ironic distance towards the things that are tough in your life. And I think men can also tell that you've been through it, that you have experienced hardships in your life, but that you don't let it take away your good spirits, that you still have, like, well, sometimes men don't quite see that sometimes a person can smile and actually feel terrible on the inside, but you know, some men can tell. But I feel like maybe some of the men that you've had in your life, they just saw you as someone who was just taking a bad situation and turning it into something good, like that you were good at just keeping up the optimistic energy and not letting the bad things break you down. But maybe you were actually in pain at the time, but you just didn't want to be sentimental about it. You didn't want to have to talk about it with people, that you were just trying to hide it away. so that you didn't get that pity, like the pitiful eyes that you get when you actually open up to someone. It's kind of hard because then people will start talking to you in a different way, and I think maybe you were just trying to avoid that. But I think mostly people, I mean men. Of course it can be both genders, but of course this reading is mostly about men. But men see you as someone who has been through something difficult, but you're out on the other side, and you seem to have gained some defense mechanisms that are maybe not necessarily the best ones, but still it's getting you by. Like, you're getting by doing these things, so it's like at the end of the day, like, who cares if it's bad or good, or like if it's a defense mechanism. Sometimes defense mechanisms can also serve a purpose, and it doesn't have to be broken down. Like, if someone likes to joke around about things in order to get through it, like, why not let that person do it? And I feel like that should also, like, you shouldn't see it as a bad thing, because, well, I don't know. It's better than being on drugs or something like that, so it's a better coping mechanism. So I'm going to shuffle a little bit more about how men view you. Oh. The world. So with the world, I think men view you as someone who has a tendency to maybe falsely label yourself sometimes. And it's not, of course it was like, maybe sometimes you might say that you're a pick-me, or like maybe joke around about it, and I don't think you are. And like, I think also maybe sometimes you like to make yourself the butt of the joke and say that you're like that you're a terrible person, or that you're going to hell for having these thoughts about, or making a joke about something that you shouldn't be joking around about, or something where I think the men around you feel like you're a little bit too tough on yourself, that sometimes you might put yourself in a category where you don't even belong, because you're a very kind person, and men can pick up on that you're a very kind and nice person, and that you wouldn't hurt a fly, like that there's nothing about you that, like, that's in any way, hurtful to others. Like, you're just joking around, and mostly it's on your, like, it's on you, like the jokes that you make. So I think men just sometimes view you as someone who is speaking about yourself in a light that they don't recognize. They don't recognize the description that you make about yourself when you talk about yourself. So because it's too negative, like, and you're not that person. So I'm going to shuffle some more cards. About how men view you. I think they also view you as someone who is very knowledgeable, that you know a lot about different cultures, different countries, that you're someone who cares about, the world and what's going on in the world, and that you're also up to date on, the things that are going on, like the politics and geopolitics, and also, the wars and catastrophes and stuff like that, things that are going on in the world. I think men view you as someone who's very up to date, that you know exactly what's going on, and that you're very well informed. I'm going to shuffle some of these archetype cards just to get a little bit more information about how men view you. Mother reversed. That you're not the mothering type. So I think men see you, not that they don't see you as a mother, like they don't, it's not about that. It's more like some men are maybe looking for a mother romantically. Like when they are looking for someone that they want to date, they are looking for someone that can help them out with everything, someone that can do everything for them. So they're more looking for, someone who can serve them, and someone who's like a mother to them. And if you have dated some men in the past and maybe told them that that's not your thing, they might have, they've just picked up on that you're not someone that they can get to do anything they want you to do, that you're someone who's good at setting boundaries and telling people that you're not gonna just give and give and give and not expect anything in return. You want things to be equal, like and equal in a good way, where everybody gets the benefits from it, everybody gets something, like that there shouldn't be someone who's the loser and someone who's the winner. Like it should be like a teamwork experience. Like, and some men might have found that to be a bummer, because that's not in tune with what they were, like the narrative that they were expecting for themselves, like what they were expecting for the future. So they might have actually stopped dating you because of this, or maybe you got ghosted from a Tinder date, maybe because this person picked up on the fact that they couldn't control you into just becoming a servant to them, a slave to them. So I'm going to shuffle one more card. Okay, with the Goddess reversed. They don't see you as someone who wants the princess treatment. That you're not someone, like you want to be an equal to them. And so men have been able to pick that up from you, and some people might have friend-zoned you because of this, because they felt like you were more an equal, you were more a friend, or more like you were one of the guys. And they might have wanted, like especially romantically, if this is someone that you were romantically involved with in the past, this person might have wanted this different dynamic, you know, the woman being the weak one, the man being the strong one, that sort of thing. And if you wanted both of you to be equally as strong and equally as weak, and that there's, you know, space for both, that you know, that you also wouldn't mind if the man would show a little bit of weakness sometimes, like that wouldn't hurt, like but of course this person might have been very fixed in their belief of what they believe a relationship should be like, you know. So but of course, like, this person might have wanted the woman to be weak and the man to be strong, but also the woman had to still be strong enough to do everything for them. I don't know if it's the same person though, but it's kind of like, it's one of those contradictions where I feel like this could be true, because it's a contradiction I feel like I've experienced before, that it's like, some men want someone who's strong and independent, someone who has a big career and high ambitions, but also like still someone who can still do everything that they need them to do, like clean and cook and raise the children without them having to lift a finger, but also have the other things, so that it's like some people just want it all, you know. Even to the point where it's very unrealistic, but I don't know. So I'm going to shuffle some of these Gypsy Oracle cards just to get a little bit more information about how men view you. Okay. Very faithful, with the faithfulness card here, that you're a very faithful person, that they can trust you, that you're a very loyal person, that you're, yeah, that you might also be more of a dog person than a cat person, but I don't know if that's even true, because I feel like a lot of you actually have cats, but maybe this person doesn't, like, or these people, these men in your life in the past, they might not have known that you had cats, or maybe it was before you had cats and they just assumed that you were a dog person, which of course I don't even know if it matters like that much, because who cares, and I think most of us are both cat people and dog people, because, you know, like, what's not to like when it comes to both? Like, they're all adorable, all pets are, all animals are. So I don't know, but I just thought about the dog here. It just, you know, you might have had a conversation with someone where you talked about dog people, cat people. I don't know, like, it's a little bit too specific to the point where I don't even know if it's actually what the card is trying to suggest here. I just feel like it's about faithfulness, and I think that is the common denominator here, is that men see you as very faithful, they see you as someone who wouldn't cheat on anyone. So maybe also because you have been cheated on before, and if you have been open to some men in your life about that, they might have assumed that you're not going to do it again because, or not going to do it again. That makes no sense. That you're not going to do it to somebody else because you have experienced it before. I can't talk right now. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I think that's the thing. That, well, that could also be what happened in the past that might have left you in a position where you had to create defense mechanisms because maybe something happened in the past where someone betrayed your trust, and it might have made you a little bit cautious to the people that you allow into your life. That yeah. With the consolation, I think men view you as someone who's very good at consoling others. You're very good at saying the right things to people, especially people who are in grief or in sorrow over something. That you're very good at showing that you care about them, that you support them, and good at helping people get through it. So I think maybe you have helped some men in your life get through grief, and I think they are very grateful that they had you by their side, that they had you to lean on. So yeah. With the size here, well, men might see you as someone who is sometimes a little bit bored, or gets a little bit bored easily. That sometimes maybe you need a little bit of a change of scenery, like that you need to like sometimes, like if you've been sitting around for a long time at like a dinner party, like you might need to like let's do something else. Like now we've been doing this for 3 hours, like can't we mix things up a little bit and do something a little bit different. And yeah, but that you're also very good at coming up with things to do, that you're very good at thinking of ideas, like things that you want to do with the people around you, that you're very creative and full of ideas, and that you always have something like a board game or something that people can play, or like that you want to play with people, like, and that you're also good at breaking the ice, and like especially if there's been like a long awkward silence, you know what to do, like okay, now you need to like bring something to the table, something that people can bond over, something that can make people talk and get people to wake up a little bit. So, but that you're also like this is also giving me a little bit of disappointment, like that you're maybe sometimes a little bit disappointed in people, maybe especially men, because it's men's view on you, that maybe the men in your life feel like sometimes you're a little bit disappointed in them. Maybe especially if people or if men ghost you, or if men forget to text you back or something, you might feel like this is a waste of your time, and that you're that you are all like in your right to say something about it and say to people that this is not good enough, that they need to, they need to become better at this. And I think especially men might have disappointed you because they might have left you unread. They might have texted you in the middle of the night asking you like, what's up with you? And then you answer them, and then there's like nothing more. Like then they don't reply back, and you're just sitting there waiting for a reply at 3 in the middle of the night. Like really, like why even text you if they're not going to actually follow through with the conversation? Like why? Like and it's just so easy to just text good night, see you tomorrow. Like that's such an easy thing to do. But I feel like especially men, or that's just my experience, is that it's only men who have done this to me in the past, is that like they are really bad at like ending a conversation, saying like, okay, let's wrap it up, and like just like especially text messages like that. It's just that, okay, then suddenly they are not texting you back, and then okay, then they text back 3 days later, and then like we were in the middle of a conversation like that. What? Why? Like, like it's okay to just say you're busy. Like, okay, but whatever. So yeah, they might view you as a little bit disappointed in them. So, for good reason though, so it makes sense. But yeah, I think that's all I have for you, group number 2. I hope this reading was helpful. And if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And thank you for watching, and bye. Hello, group number 3. You chose this cat magnet here. And I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle these Waite tarot cards. And I'm going to do the channeling first. So, Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 3, the people who will choose group number 3? How do men view group number 3? Okay. Okay, they really enjoy the fact that you can see them for who they are, that you can see right through them. And so the men in your life view you as very intuitive, someone who knows a little bit more than what most people know about others. Like that you seem to be able to spot something that nobody else can see. And the men in your life really enjoy this, and they feel like it's nice. It's nice that when they're going through something, when they are like having a bad day, or when they are like depressed or anxious or whatever, like that, even though they have this brave face on and can fool everybody else with this brave face, you can't be fooled. Like they know that when they meet up with you, you're going to be able to tell right away that they're going through something that they're not telling you about. And I think the men in your life just really like that. So men in general enjoy that you can see right through them. Like, you can see into their soul, you can see their spirit, you can see their energy, and you can tell if something is off. And they feel like you give them attention. The men in your past and in your present and in your future, they all feel like you give them more attention than other people do. Like that you're more curious about their story. You ask the right questions. You ask questions that are actually interesting to them, things that they actually want to talk about, things from their past, things that are very important for their narrative. And I think you are very good at opening people up, making people open up to you, and getting them to talk about things that they usually don't talk about with anyone, but they feel safe around you. They feel like they can trust you. They feel like they also want to share, and they also want to overshare. And I don't know if they want to, but they end up doing it because you have a presence that demands that of them. And they know that that's the name of the game, and they know that they need to give something in order to receive something, and they know that this is what you're about. You're about sharing, and you're about healing, and you're about the deeper conversations. And that they know they can't just bite you off with like a yes or no answer, or that they are doing okay, or that they are doing well, even though you know that there's more to the story. They know that they can't fool you. So I feel like a lot of men have felt a very strong connection with you. Like they could trust you, they could tell you anything. And I'm also feeling that a lot of men have actually fallen in love with you. Of course, I don't know if you're a man watching this video and just curious about what other men think of you. And even if that's the case, and if you're a heterosexual man, there is the bro crush. Like, bros can crush on each other without it being romantic, but of course I'm just more sensing that this is like that you're a woman asking about how men view you. So but just take what resonates. But I feel like men have a strong connection with you anyways. Like they feel safe around you. They feel like there's like you create this safe space where they can share. So I'm going to shuffle and see what the cards have to say about how men view you. Okay. So, how do men view you? Okay. A lot of reversals, but it doesn't, well, there is this card. It makes sense. This is the only one who's not reversed. I feel like men see you as someone who's very generous with your time, very generous with your energy. You're someone who wants to help people out. You want to help people heal. You're someone who's very supportive and caring. but with the Ten of Cups reversed, so men might view you as someone who is single, someone who doesn't have a family yet. Some people might wonder about that, why you haven't, started a family, why you haven't, gotten any children, or like, because I think they actually feel like you're very much the type of person who would be very good at that. That you would be good in a family constellation, or where you would have, a husband and children, but so I don't know if you're like, of course, I don't know if some of you might be homosexual women who are just curious about what men think of you. I know that this is very specific, it's probably not for all of you, but if this is the case, some men might find this to be a shame, because they feel like you would be really good in a normal normal, of course it's all normal, but that you're that you're more, that they feel like you're supposed to have a husband and children and have your children with a man, like, and that you're making life a little bit harder on yourself by not choosing that route, Of course, this is very specific, so I'm not going to go too much into detail with that one, because I know it's not for all of you. But for those of you who are heterosexual women, asking how men perceive you, I think this card might be about you just being single, and they don't understand why you're single when you're, when you're someone who is very like wifey material. Like you're very caring, very supportive. You see people, you have this intuitive feeling about others, and you are very empathetic, and you're very nice. And like, why are you single? Like I just think they don't understand why nobody has picked you up yet. But again, of course, it could be your decision. Like, you might just not want to be in a relationship because of this, like because of this. I don't know what this is, but because of something, so maybe because of, I don't know, like that's not a part of the question, so I'm not going to go into that. But I think men just don't understand why some women choose to be alone, why some women choose to be hermits, or like, that they feel like it's a shame, that it's like a waste, and that like biologically it's also wasteful or something. So it's kind of a lame answer when especially considering, the positive energy that I was getting before, where men really see you as someone who can see them, and like that. It was a lot about them though, and to then jump over to that conclusion that, oh, you're not, like, you're wasting your eggs by not being in a relationship. But that could, of course, I feel like a lot of men have fallen in love with you in the past, so that could be the reason that these men, especially if they were rejected by you, they might feel a little bit bitter that you're choosing to be alone instead of being in a relationship with them. Because what does that say about them if you choose singlehood over their, over their company? Like that, it's like you're avoiding them like the plague, and that they don't understand why, and they feel like, of course, they feel like it's a personal thing, like that it's personal towards them, like that I think it's just that they don't take that, like they don't take rejection very well. I feel like it's someone in the past who might be a little bit bitter. So I feel like I'm putting too much into this card. Of course, it's also in this card as well. So it's actually 2 cards. So it is something that is coming through quite strongly, that there is someone who is bitter, someone who feels like you should have given them a shot, because they feel like they could have actually given you something, that they could have actually contributed to your life in a positive way, and that you chose not to give them that opportunity, and they feel like, bitter, just bitter, So, and if you're a man watching this, again, that's not going to resonate necessarily, but especially if you're a heterosexual man. But I don't know, there could still be a bitter person in the past who felt like you chose not to be friends with them anymore, even though they felt like they were being a very good friend to you. But then suddenly you just distanced yourself from them, and maybe you had good reason to. Maybe this person was, being a little bit too demanding. Like, especially like sometimes when we give someone a hand, they take the whole arm, and sometimes kindness doesn't always pay off, because people are going to take advantage. So yeah. With the 3 of Wands reversed, this is a very good card actually, because it's about loyalty. It's about staying loyal to one person and not just conquering different countries, and then like every time you've conquered one country, you just walk over to the next one and get your next conquering. That's what this card is about when it's upright. This person here, he has the flags of 3 different countries, and he's already looking for a 4th country to occupy, conquer. Like that, it's like, it's kind of like a hit it and quit it card, like someone who's just looking for, like constantly looking for something new to go after, something new to pursue, and especially when it comes to love, like that whole energy of needing to always get the new model, and also like this is, yeah, when it's upright, again, this is reversed. So when it's upright, it's kind of like the energy of the 50-year-old who divorces his wife over, like, that he has been with for 30 years just to chase like some young tail, like that. It's kind of like that energy. But when it's reversed, it's the opposite of that. It's very loyal. It's someone who just stays with one person forever. If they could, like, if they humor one person, they want to, like, and I think that's also, like, I think you haven't, led someone on, and you're not about that, and you don't, like, you're more keen on just rejecting someone if you feel like the vibe is not there, instead of, going through it for a long time, like trying to like see it out. Like that sort of energy would just be leading someone on, and that, I think you don't want that. So you want to be completely certain before you get in a relationship with someone. You want to know that that person is the one for you. You don't want to waste anybody's time, and not your own time, on something that might not work out, you know. And yeah, men see this. Men can see this in you, that you're all about the true love, all about the soulmate connection, that you're looking for the one. With the Ace of Wands reversed, men view you as someone who's maybe not that sexually charged, if that makes sense. That you're not someone who's constantly thinking about sex. You're not someone who even needs sex in your life. Like, you can go without it if you had to. Like, you wouldn't have to. Like, I feel like maybe you have talked about that with someone who was a male in the past, that sex is maybe the last priority when it comes to a relationship, that a lot of other things are more important for you. Like, that it's more important to, you know, have a soul connection, have a deep connection with a person, being able to, you know, feel comfortable around each other, and also being able to share with each other, and also having like a, you know, an intellectual bond as well, where you can bond over the same things on an intellectual level, where you can talk about the same topics, and share knowledge, and all of these things. I think you find these to be more important, and maybe even more attractive, like that it turns you more on if someone is intellectually gifted or talented in some way, or has a deeper knowledge and deeper connection with you on a soul level. Sorry, and not all men find this to be as charming as others do. I think some men actually find this to be nice, because it's nice to find someone who's not shallow, not superficial, not someone who's only thinking about, you know, sexual skills, or like being good in bed or something, or having a big penis or something like that, you know, like that, or being ripped, or being like that. I think some men find it nice that you're prioritizing other things, that you seem to be much more, I don't know, like it's just that you're more deep. And then now I've been saying deep for a long time, and I just keep continuing down that path. But you know, I feel like I need to come with something new to the table. I feel like I've been repeating myself a little bit now. I'm sorry if I have, but yeah, I think this kind of it separates the field a little bit. I feel like some people enjoy it, some people don't, like, or some men enjoy it, some men don't. So it's, of course, we can't do everything that will, you know, like, not everything we do will fall into everybody's liking. So yeah, mostly men actually enjoy your depth. I'm going to say deep again, but yeah, your depth is, it's something that they're not. I don't want to say that they're not used to this. I think they are actually used to it. They just don't recognize it everywhere they go. Like sometimes it has to be a little bit more, like, you know, more present in order for them to actually notice it. But I think most, like, especially if you're a woman, I feel like this person might consider all women to be kind of two-dimensional or whatever, and they see you as more like three-dimensional, and this is a compliment, a big compliment. I just feel like I don't like the compliments where it's actually just bashing everybody else, you know, or every other women, like all the other women, as if all women are just, you know, very simple and shallow. Like I don't like that energy, but of course, just take the compliment. It's a good compliment. It's just, it seems like men view you as very smart and very, you know, very good at seeing them, which I think they really enjoy. Like that you can see them, that you listen to what they have to say, and that you don't always just interrupt what they say, but actually listen and actually take it in, that you're not just listening to your own voice, that you're not just talking for the sense of hearing yourself talk, but that you're actually having that ping pong with another person where you're actually more concerned with the person, the other person's answer than your own answer. Like that you're not just constantly thinking about what you have to say next, that you're actually listening to what the other person has to say. So yeah, it's very positive. I know that there's a lot of reversals here. I'm going to shuffle some of these archetype cards just to get a little bit more information about what men, how men view you. The Poet, that's good. Like, and that's also in alignment with what I said before. It says expresses soul insights in symbolic language. And so yeah, men view you as someone who has a lot of soul insight. Like you seem to be able to look into the soul, and that you understand people on a soul level. You see people's core, you see what they are all about. You can see their life mission, you can see what their calling is, without even having to talk that much to a person before you actually realize their essence, what they're made of, what yeah. And I feel like we're all looking for that person who can actually see right into us and actually know something about us that we don't even know. And I think men see that in you, that you are able to enlighten them on things that are concerning them, of course, about them, that they don't know, that they haven't recognized yet, that they didn't realize. That you can bring some answers to the table that they have been looking for their whole life. And especially answers that come to, that answers that are about who they are, what they're all about, where they are going, what's their highest potential, what are their talents, what are their skills, and being validated with something that from someone who actually sees them is more validating than getting a compliment from someone who doesn't see them at all, someone who just looks right past their soul and just into the room. Like that doesn't actually give them anything. Like that, it's just hollow. But when you give compliments, it's solid. It's actually filled up with truth and insights that are valuable. So I'm going to shuffle one more card about how men view you. Okay, that's a little bit too many cards, but the Virgin is here. I'm actually going to keep the cards here. The Virgin. They see you as very pure. Like you're very... You have an innocent energy. That you also know your worth. You know that you're worth more than maybe some of the people that offer you something. That you know that, well, not that you believe that you're above them, but that you know that this just doesn't fit. Like that if someone gives you a love offer and you just know that, you know, the chemistry is not there, then you're not gonna humor that connection, you know. And I think people can see that, and they see it as purity. They see it as you being a pure person. That of course there's nothing like it's not that there's nothing impure about, you know, like trying on a few gloves and see what glove fits. Like I'm not saying that. Okay, that came out a little bit creepier than I meant it to be, but you know that it's just that you know, it like I'm not saying, like I'm not slut shaming, just, you know, like, yeah, I'm trying to just make that clear, that it's not that, like I'm just sensing, like I'm just reading the cards, I'm just reading the energy, and this is what I'm getting. And maybe some of the men that you have encountered in the past might have been the slut shaming types. So when you came in and you were not a slut, then that's something they thought to be like a breath of fresh air. Like it was nice to meet a different energy in their mind. I don't like this because, again, it's like, yeah, it's like giving someone a compliment but actually bashing everybody else for not being that way. Yeah. With a hero / heroine, men see you as the hero, that you're someone who actually had a great impact on their life, that you've helped them with things, that you're good at giving advice, that you're good at healing people, getting to the core of the issue and helping people move on by helping them acknowledge what's actually wrong, or helping people find out what's actually triggering them and why it's triggering them. And I think you've had a big impact on people because you have been able to see them very clearly, and you've been able to use your intuition when you've been helping them, and you've known exactly what you've had to say in order for them to move on. And I think you're a very intuitive person. I think you're very good at reading people and reading situations and knowing exactly what to say in order to address the situation in the most emotionally profitable way. I don't know if that makes sense, but the Lover reversed, damn it. Okay, yeah, men might, well, I think still men fall in love with you. They might feel like usually when they fall in love with you, it's not reciprocated. And I think a lot of men have actually felt rejected by you, or felt like you were not really picking up on the hints that they were sending you, to the point where they just knew that you were not interested. I think men have flirted with you before, where you have quite bluntly, well, maybe not bluntly, maybe you didn't even realize, but I think sometimes you've maybe made it quite clear that you're not interested. And so there is a little bit of a dismissive energy that some men feel, that they feel like you're very unattainable, unreachable, like that they feel like you're someone who has high standards, and yeah, with the Exorcist reversed, I have a tendency to look at this card as concerning exercise, not exercise with an O, but exercise with an E. Again, like, this is just my interpretation of it. Like, of course not what the card is about. It's just an association that I have, or that I have had a few times with the card, and with it reversed, it could be about you not exercising, which I don't know if it's I don't know if it's trying to be catty, or if it's like if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I feel like it could actually be considered a good thing for many men, because there might be some men who feel like women who exercise are too manly. But again, if you're a man, then I don't know. But this could also be about you exercising a lot in the past, but that you have recently given up on that journey, or that you don't really feel like it anymore, or that you feel like there's other things that are more pressing, and that maybe you feel like the whole idea of going to the gym and lifting weights, it is a little bit shallow, or I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it, but it's like, it's a lot of, looking in the mirror, and a lot of fixation on looking a certain way. And of course, some people are actually at the gym just to become stronger, and I understand that. But I don't know. Of course, the card, it says fear of facing your own demons. That's the shadow attribute. There could be something to it that maybe also, like, because the exercise thing, it's a little bit of a reach, but the fear of facing your own demons, it could be about you maybe being very good at giving other people advice, that you're not very good at following the same advice that you give others yourself, like that you're maybe not good at making it about you, that sometimes you're very good at getting other people to share with you, but that when it's your turn to share, that sometimes you can get a little bit quiet, and this could also be about, the opposite of an exorcist. Of course, the exorcist is, kind of a meddler. It's someone who's getting in between a beautiful love story. It's not like, I don't know what I'm saying, but it could be like, okay, there might have been like a man in your life who was in a relationship with a woman, and you knew the woman because you were probably friends with the woman, and then you just met the man, or maybe you heard a lot about the man through the woman, and you knew that the man was up to no good, just by the stories that you heard and the vibe that you were getting. So you might have ratted him out, told the woman that she deserved better, that she was not getting the good end of the bargain here. And it might have resulted in the woman leaving the man, and that could have resulted in the man blaming you for this, because you were the one who was intuitive enough to actually see through his bullshit, and so he knew that it was coming from you. So there could be something about that you were meddling in their relationship, and in the man's point of view, this relationship was a beautiful relationship that of course it could have been a possession, kind of like a man just having a woman as his possession, controlling the woman, and being exceptionally controlling and unpleasant. And of course, I think you did the right thing by calling this out. Of course, it's different from different points of view, but of course the man was not happy with this. So that's a part of the general, how men view you. Of course, this person also has a say in, like, has the right to tip in with his point of view. And I think, yeah, that's how he views you, that you were a traitor to him, but not really. You did the right thing here. So, yeah. But I think that's all I have for you. Group number 3, I hope this reading was helpful, and have a great day, and bye.